Welcome to Second Take, the show that focuses on the issues behind the news. Ferrochrome producers in South Africa are bullish on the outlook for this alloy in 2010, but electricity constraints weigh heavily on producers meeting the demand. Mining Weekly editor Martin Creamer is in the studio to tell us more. Welcome to the show, Martin.
Thanks, Shannon.
The ferrochrome price is set to increase 6% a year for the next 5 years. What are the implications for South African producers, especially considering the electricity constraints?
Yeah, isn't it terrible? Every time there's a boom, we have a bust, you know. I mean, the last time there was a boom, we lost out through bad logistics. This time, if the upturn is very, very strong, as people think it's going to be, we're going to lose out through energy, courtesy of Eskom's problems. So, you know, it's a pause button is being pushed. You know, instead of us going ahead with new projects because we can see visibility that says to us, you know, there's going to be a demand, there's a standstill on projects because they don't know. Well, they feel in 3 years' time, maybe they can go ahead with projects once Medupi Power Station is in, and then if Kusile Power Station goes ahead. But until that happens, it looks like we're going to have a ferrochrome project standstill for 3 years.
Now let's talk about the beneficiation of chrome. What are the cost implications of this, and what does the government actually want South African producers to do with it? You
know, beneficiation is an important word, but people often say from abroad, what is it? Well, it's really adding value. And what we like to do with chrome, because we have the biggest chrome reserves in the world, is we like to add value to chrome and not just export the raw chrome, because there's a big value uplift if you can turn that chrome into ferrochrome. You know, there's like a tenfold uplift in the value sometimes. So it's important that you try and export ferrochrome rather than chrome. And the government, it does encourage this, although we're still waiting for the legislation that has been very long in coming. But so what is happening is, because there is a demand for raw chrome, say from China, they can then convert it into ferrochrome themselves. We're finding that a lot of our raw material is going out in unbeneficiated form, which is very regrettable. And particularly with chrome, the government is being engaged to try and do something about the fact that instead of adding value to the chrome and letting it go out as ferrochrome, it's going out as raw chrome in a much lower benefit for South Africa.
So there are cost implications on that?
Well, the cost is to us. We lose on foreign exchange. We don't have, you know, the right foreign exchange coming in the volume that it should, because we're selling something that hasn't had any value added to it, so we're not getting that value.
Now, if demand from the rest of the world increases for ferrochrome, what are South African producers going to do? Because China alone can take all of it.
Yeah, China alone can take a lot of the ferrochrome. So, you know, South African producers should be planning to expand, but they can't because of the energy problem. So all they're trying to do now is be more and more efficient. So you've got to make sure that you are very sparing with the energy you've got. You've got to look for new technologies to try to squeeze more out, because you actually can't look at a big leap in production because you're constrained by uncertainty around energy.
So what do you think the future outlook will be?
Well, the future outlook is again one of these horrific things where, you know, the supply is not meeting demand, and therefore the price does go up, so you get that sort of advantage, but you don't get that normalized steady state where you can operate in a way that has sustainability, because, you know, you don't want people saying, wow, you know, this has become too expensive, we'll look for something else. We know that ferrochrome is an ingredient in stainless steel, and the more stainless steel is used, the better for South Africa, because we've got these fantastic chrome reserves, and we again have this mismatch between supply, which is constrained, and demand, which is rising, and some say there are indications that this rise is going to be pretty serious.
Thank you so much for your time, Martin. It was great to speak to you.
It's a great pleasure, Shannon.
That's the show for today. Join us again next time for more news and insight into what's happening in the mining world.